Oh man. Oh my god. Oh man. That was me in the theater, I swear to God. Toy Story 4 is the fourth movie in the Toy Story series. It is no longer a trilogy, it is now a quadrilogy. This is supposedly the final Toy Story movie. And in this Toy Story, Bonnie's growing up a little bit. She doesn't really play with Woody all that much. So she's getting ready for orientation at kindergarten. And at orientation, she creates a new toy named Forky. Forky doesn't believe that he is a toy. He believes he's trash. And when Bonnie and her family go on a road trip, Woody has to convince Forky that he's Bonnie's toy after they get lost. And Woody runs into Bo Peep, opens up a whole new world of thoughts for Woody and what it means to be a toy. So when Toy Story 4 was announced, I was really skeptical because I love the first three. I think the first three are perfect. They're perfect movies, even though I like 2 the least out of the first 3. And I didn't want to see a Toy Story 4, and here's why. Because the third one ended so perfectly, with Andy handing his toys off to Bonnie. It felt like the perfect conclusion. And when Toy Story 4 was announced, I think it was in 2014 or something like that, and it was supposed to come out in 2015 or 16, I did not want a mediocre Toy Story movie. That was my biggest worry with this film, was that it was going to feel unnecessary, that it was going to feel unjustified, that it was going to tarnish the legacy of the trilogy. While the thought that Pixar wouldn't make this movie if they knew that it wouldn't be just as good or better than the first 3 was always in the back of my mind, it never entered the forefront of my mind. I continue to write this off. I really thought that the trailers for this movie made it look a lot like Toy Story 2. And with that, I was even more skeptical. Even with the critical praise that this movie was getting, I was really skeptical. I had to see it for myself. And my God, am I an idiot? Never in my life have I ever doubted a movie as much as this. Have I ever been so skeptical? Have I ever thought that a movie was so unnecessary and unjustified than I did with Toy Story 4? And never in my life have I ever been proven so wrong. Guys, Toy Story 4 is amazing. This might be the movie of the year. This is up there with Avengers Endgame. For me, right now, it's on the top. Endgame's number 2. It might flip-flop. I don't know. This movie just completely blew me away. This is a great movie. A great addition to the Toy Story lore, to the Toy Story series. If this is where it ends, I'm like the happiest man-child on earth. I want to go play with my toys again. This movie has it all. It's funny. It makes you cry. It's got so much emotion. It's got a great story. It's got great characters, great new characters that we can all get attached to. Toy Story 3 just brings out all the stops. I love the dynamic between Woody and Bo Peep in this movie. They have such a great relationship. I love how it's more than just a flirtatious relationship. I love how they get reunited in this movie. And I love the end of the story. What happens at the very end? I will not ruin that. I will save that for a spoiler review video. But I think the resolution for this story, for this entire Toy Story, is the most fitting thing I've ever seen in cinema. This is so satisfying. With every animation movie that I review, I always say that the animation looks really lush, it looks really smooth, but in Toy Story 4, it's the same case. And in this case as well, this movie looks so damn real. It's like they put CGI toys into a real-life environment. Everything just looked so real. It was so photorealistic. It felt like you could just reach into the screen and touch it. It was a live-action movie with CGI toys. That's exactly what it felt like. All of the emotion is learned. You get so many different themes in this movie, like we do with the first 3 Toy Story movies. You get so many life lessons learned, like we do with the 3 Toy Story movies. They knew what to do with this movie, and I am so happy that they knew what to do with Toy Story 4. It's such a fitting finale to the story of these toys. The way I look at this series is that Toy Story 3 is the finale to the story of Andy, whereas Toy Story 4 is the finale to the story of the toys. If they want to make a fifth one, make it as good, I'm all on board. I really don't see how they could. But it doesn't get better than this. Sorry, I'm kind of choking up because these movies are just so iconic. They're so endearing. And to not tarnish the legacy is just brings me so much joy that we have 4 movies in a series that are freaking great. That you can say any of the 4 are your favorite, and I'm not gonna argue with you. This is Josh Cooley's directorial debut, and he does a really great job. The way the story plays out, the way he moves the narrative around, the way he moves cameras around, it's great. This is amazing work by a first-time director. I gotta give him all the applause in the world. And with the animation, there's so many vibrant colors. I love how colorful Pixar movies are. There's so many different colors here. And I think it really gives the movie a lot more energy, it livens it up a lot, and it makes you even more attached to these characters. These are characters that we have grown attached to for the past 24 years. And for them to get a finale like this, I cannot commend Pixar enough. Well done. Very well done, Pixar. A few other things I want to talk about. Some of the new characters. I really thought Forky was going to be the most annoying character in this movie when I first saw the trailers. Forky was actually really endearing. I understood where he was coming from. There's a great life lesson to learn from him, too. Ducky and Bunny, played by Key and Peele, I thought they were going to be super annoying. They added some of the best humor in the Toy Story movies, and they were really funny to watch. There's so many funny scenes with them, especially in the middle. I was dying. And Duke Kaboom, Canada's greatest stuntman, played by Keanu Reeves. Holy shit, Keanu Reeves. Have yourself a comeback, man. Keanu Reeves is awesome as Duke Kaboom. And he's one of the highlights of the movie. That's the thing. All of the new characters that are introduced in Toy Story 4 are the highlights of the movie. They really make the movie a lot better. And they liven it up a lot when I really didn't think they were going to. I really thought that all these characters were going to get on my nerves. That's not to say that the old characters like Ham, the Potato Heads, Rex, they don't have their time to shine, you know? They kind of take a back seat to the story, which kind of sucks. But I feel like in a story like this, they kind of have to take a back seat. They're not the central focus of the story. There's other toys that are the central focus of the story, and the thing that makes that so great is that this doesn't feel like it stands on its own. This feels like an actual extension of the Toy Story movies and the Toy Story lore. That's the biggest praise I can give this movie. It doesn't feel like it's its own thing. And that was another thing I was worried about going in. Toy Story 4 fits in seamlessly with the first 3 Toy Stories. This is a fan-frickin-tastic movie. Go and see this movie. I'm going to give Toy Story 4 an A+. Have yourselves a year, Pixar. You earned it. You proved me wrong. I think you proved almost everybody wrong. Thank you for watching my review of Toy Story 4. I may have a spoiler review for Toy Story 4. I want to talk about it a little bit more. You guys are the best. Thank you for watching. My name is Alex Madden, and I'll see you at the movies.